take off my Liverpool hat and look at the game, the worst thing about it was United's reaction. Like Bruno Fernandes, disgusting. Luke Shaw.
Don't worry. Whether he scored or assisted, did he play well?
He stunk.
So he played well against Man City.
He stunk.
Dre, did he play well against Man City?
We need to win the Europa, in my opinion, and the Prem. I personally think our squad is decent enough.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time you're listening, welcome to another episode of Podcast Pundits. I am your host today, Del Estrada, the man of many club faces, and I'm joined by my fellow pundits, starting from my right. Miles?
Marley Marl. What are you saying? You cool?
Good,
How you
good,
doing, man?
good. Struggling with a cold, but, we're here.
No, I feel you. Definitely feel you.
Strives?
Yo, what you saying, man? Good to have you back, bro. We've missed you a little bit.
Yeah, let's go back a bit. So, Miles, what team do you support?
Crystal Palace.
Okay, Miles, what team do you support?
Wait, what? The answer wasn't good enough for you? What's the problem?
Hey, tell the fans who you support.
What, today or?
Yesterday and the day before and last week.
Yeah, Crystal Palace lost as well a week. Man United, guys.
Okay.
I apologise for that.
He's for the state of Crystal Palace.
Even they're not doing too good either. Strives, we know you're Arsenal. Drizzy, Dre?
Yeah, I'm a angry and frustrated Man United fan, but what can I say? It's just one of those things, but yeah, we'll get into it.
It's not one of those things. Let's not do that.
Here we go.
Sure. Joey?
Hi guys.
Hi, guys.
Joey here on the microphone.
You support Dallas Tablet, huh?
Happy to be here. Happy to be blessed and highly favoured. I support #United, Dulwich Hamlet, and the one and only Liverpool FC.
Come on.
Cool. Before we go and start the podcast, let me just let you know where you can find us. You can find us on all major platforms. That's Spotify, SoundCloud, and Apple. On Instagram, on social media, you can interact with us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter.
Yeah.
So,
We're also on YouTube as well, by the way, guys. So
yeah, on
check
YouTube.
us out.
And SoundCloud and Amazon Music. We're literally everywhere, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to start a Telegram channel as well.
Well, I haven't been on a podcast for a while. I've been listening to it, and what I noticed that United fans were very loud, they were very vocal, and very bold in the statements that they made. So of course I'm going to give them the platform to continue talking their shit. But before I do that, I think it's only right that I start with Joey, because I think for as long as this podcast has been going, you've not really had much to say or anything positive about Liverpool. So this is your time to talk your shit, Brie.
No, I've had some positive things to say, but
About Liverpool?
Yeah, some. But
Okay.
few and far between.
But tell us, going into the game, how did you feel?
Sorry, but yeah, before that, last week I got a lot of stick. Some would say rightfully so.
Pause.
I said pause, yeah. I said that Fred was shit. I said that Park Ji-sung was shit. And
I swear, these man was berating you, saying that Fred will get into your team, right?
they said Fred would get into my team, and I said it's shit. And I got loads of stick about that as well. Like people were just messaging me, sending me voicemails, DMs, saying, just cussing me, loads of abuse.
What threats?
Not as far as threats, but it was like bad for my health, mental health, and all that kind of stuff in it. So before we get into the game, I just want to take this moment to apologise to fucking nobody, absolutely nobody. The 7-0 champ does not apologise to anybody.
I respect that.
The 7-0 champ does not apologise to anybody.
Loud it, baby.
Hey, Dre, man, pull out his mic, please.
I think I was
If you
trying
have
to do
another
that.
outburst like that, pull out his mic, I begs.
I deserve my accolades.
Talk your shit, baby.
I need some applause. Hey.
Oh,
Producer.
yeah.
Hey. United
No,
fans.
Joey, before you speak,
United fans, clap for me.
I think United fans, last week you wanted a clapping for your win the Carabao Cup. I think, did you get it? Did they get it?
They didn't get it because they refused.
No, not from us.
They clapped.
Who clapped?
They clapped.
Who's they?
I don't know. I was the
United-
host.
no,
The
no, it
winners,
was the United
the winners
fans
clapped.
that
The winners clapped.
They didn't get their guard of honor.
they clapped for themselves.
They didn't
Yeah.
get the guard of honor because they refused to give a guard of honor previously when they were supposed to.
I think we need to start this properly. So I think it's only fair that Liverpool, for what they did yesterday, they do get a clap of honor.
Let me propose a rule.
Let's explain the Yeah, go on, explain the rules.
So
here.
I'll say basically, if your team loses by more than 5,
No, just lose it, full stop. If you're playing one of
one of the rivals,
yeah, and you lose,
then you get
you
a
have to
guard of
clap,
honor.
yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I'm happy with
So
that.
one of the rivals sitting at the table, by the way. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Cool.
Go on. Right, have you got something to say? No.
Wait. We have to wait.
Marley,
Dre,
Marl's
Dre,
ready
man,
to
be
come to this.
quiet, man. Dre, man, be
So,
quiet.
no. As we're about to do this, obviously, Liverpool ran 7-0 winners at the weekend against United. And rightfully so, they deserve the honours. So I think it's only right that we all contribute and give them the clapping ovation.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to do that.
Okay, fair enough. Right. This is all for the 7-0 champ.
Yeah. But going forward, it's for everyone, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone has to clap.
Agreed.
No, but I think it should be between the two players because why should we clap if Arsenal beat Man United 2-1?
No, it's a clapping ovation. Arsenal deserve their claps. They deserve their
Okay,
their
you know
praises.
what?
So everyone claps.
So you're basically, it's like you said, the rivals.
It's not
Whoever
enough
wins
shame,
out the
but it's not
rival
enough
matches.
shame on the losers.
That's what I'm thinking. It's not humiliating.
Yeah, it's not
Okay,
humiliating.
go on, losers, clap for him then.
But we just done it already.
But we also clap as well.
Now you're being bullies.
Listen,
now you're being bullies.
Listen, we only
You're
clapped
being
two.
bullies now.
We only clapped twice. There's at
Yeah.
least you owe him at least 5 more.
Okay, let's start again.
You owe him at least 5
United
more
fans,
claps.
can you please give
Going
Joey
forward,
his...
from this point on, going forward,
After this point, when they clap.
yeah.
Yeah. My United fans, please.
Go on.
Make sure I hear 7 of them.
Yeah.
Come on.
No,
guys.
Dre,
Do it
come
properly,
on.
Tell Strives to do not tell him what to do.
Yeah.
Ignore him. I'm the
Tell him.
host.
Tell him now.
But
host.
before,
Order.
you have to clap in a way that your child will be proud of you because Dre's about to do a
guys,
two-finger
you're
clap.
doing too much now.
No,
So-
he was going to do a
He
two-finger
can
clap.
do what he likes.
No, but Dre, you got to clap properly.
Yeah. All right, go on.
Clap to the mic so the... No, come on.
Come on. We need to hear it. You need to hear it.
I think you need to be on my command or something to fill.
Come on, guys. We've
Ready?
wasted 7 minutes
No, you can't
already.
count me in. It's not going to
Oh,
work
yeah,
like
do your thing.
Dre,
Clap
properly,
7,
David.
6.
Well, take a bow, son. I mean that. Take a bow.
Yeah, shower me in your praises.
Okay.
Shower me in your
Stop saying
praises.
stuff.
Cool.
What is happening, bro?
So, Joey,
Take that.
now
Pause.
let's start podding. So, how did you feel going into the game? Were you confident?
I'll be honest. Again, you've highlighted the point that I haven't necessarily had a lot of great things to say about Liverpool. But going into the game, I was expecting at worst a draw. I thought we'd win the game because our record at Anfield against Man United is been insane. I don't think we've
Ridiculous.
lost. We haven't lost since 2016. I think it was. So I was expecting
Manchester United haven't won a game, or I think they've only scored 1 goal in 7 seasons.
1 goal since
Anfield.
2016. Yeah, I think. And I think Salah's got more yellow cards.
Yeah, more
Then-
yellow cards than they've
from celebrating goals.
than they've scored at Anfield. Yeah.
So I was pretty confident that we were gonna at least leave with a point.
I was confident he was going to get all 3.
Yeah, United fans wanted to take my money.
Why is he talking? Can you stop the Arsenal guys from talking, please?
Yeah.
I'm
Strive,
not asking,
please.
but I'm just part of the podcast.
No, Strive.
Let him
Let him
talk.
have his monologue.
Let him
When you
talk.
wanted your monologue, you
I
did it.
didn't get it, to be fair.
Joey,
Right.
two wrongs don't make a right.
So let me just get to the game. So going into the game, I thought we'd definitely get 1 point minimum. Exceeded all expectations. Happy that all the attackers got a brace. They've come under a bit of criticism this season, mainly from my right honourable man, Marley Marl, who said that Salah's been suffering from the 300k curse. He's gone on to get his seasonal goal against Man United.
As he does.
Take off his shirt as he usually does, pause. And people have been saying that Hakpo is maybe a hack. Maybe he isn't what he was supposed to be, but he's gone in and showed
All right. Play fair though. What did Marley Marl say about Gakpo?
No, you didn't say anything about Gakpo. So you said about Salah.
Yes.
I'm sure there was a point where you were glad that you didn't get him.
Who's that? No, it's not true.
I don't recall him saying that.
Yeah, exactly.
And then also, most importantly for Nunes, getting that beautiful header. Beautiful glancing header.
2 good headers.
Yeah, the first one was point blank, but the second goal was quality technique. And just looking forward to seeing more from him as well.
How many goals is Nunes on now?
I think he's on about 6, maybe.
Yeah, they said he's
Sorry, 7 or 8.
They said
in the league.
he scored 13 in this.
No,
this
I mean,
season.
in the Prem.
No, all
I think he's got like
competitions,
7 or 8.
Okay, cool.
Because he was tied with Gabriel not too long ago.
I remember because I got a bit. That's why I'm asking.
Remember, he was on
Is it
5,
7?
not too long. I think it's about 7 or 8.
It's 7 now.
Okay. But no, I'm just happy that
No, he's on 8 because he scored.
think he's on 8, yeah.
I think he's because he scored before.
it doesn't matter how many goals he's got. What matters is that
I just
yesterday
lost count. He scored so many yesterday.
they all came
Let
and
that guy
turned out.
speak.
They all came out, turned out, and thingy. And like, people are saying that there's one guy said to me, "There's no way Liverpool are going to beat Man United with Henderson on the pitch."
I don't know who that was.
You know exactly who it was.
State their name, man.
He was doing.
I'm not going to say his name because he doesn't want to. He doesn't want his name.
Oh,
to be
he wants to
mentioned.
remain nameless.
I hope so.
Anonymous.
But yeah, it was just a drubbing, man. And I think the worst thing about it, if I take off my Liverpool hat and look at the game, the worst thing about it was United's reaction. Like Bruno Fernandes, disgusting. Luke Shaw.
Don't worry, we can discuss our own team.
United's
mate,
reaction.
yeah?
Sorry, Luke
We
Shaw.
can discuss our own team.
You're
Here
a
we
tramp.
Yeah?
But go on.
He's discussing.
You're
the
a
game.
tramp.
But yeah, before you go, speaking of United, just focusing on the Liverpool performance, yeah, on the
Okay,
actual game.
okay.
So, obviously, last week you made a comment about Fabinho.
Yeah.
So when you saw him, and when you saw that starting midfield, what did you think?
No, so I want to clarify what I said. So I think we were talking about Fred being rubbish, and they said that Fred will get into the Liverpool team. Impossible, one. And I said even with our team playing badly, he wouldn't get into the team. And then I went on to say that Fabinho is not starting. So what I meant by that is since Bajcetic has announced himself on the Liverpool squad, him and Thiago were starting probably 4 games in a row. Mm-hmm. And then once Thiago got injured, Fabinho was brought back. Because I don't know if you remember, there was a period where Fabinho was coming on and then doing nasty fouls where he should have been getting red card. It happened like twice in a row. So he came back. And then these guys were kind of like saying, not these guys actually, other United fans were saying that Fred is better than Fabinho. So
Who said that?
you don't know his other United fans,
Okay.
Bobby Wande.
Okay.
Said that. But yeah, they came in kind of like in my messages telling me X, Y, and Z. But it's weird because apart from Bobby Wande, all United fans have been saying that Fred is shit up until this point. So for them to then say that Fabinho, who probably this is the worst period he's had in his Liverpool career, that Fred is better than him is insane.
I don't think people do say he's shit, but he's not shit. He's just very up and down. Like you have a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10.
Inconsistent.
Yeah.
And if
then
you're
you have a 5.
inconsistent, to me, you're shit.
Okay, I'm not.
I think
this year.
the gripe that with people probably had is the use of word shit. I think it's just very
agreed.
strong.
Of course, no, because
they're not good.
I think people more had a grab because he was calling Parchi Sung shit.
I mean, so let me just come back to that. Even though I don't apologize to absolutely fucking no one.
Mm-hmm.
For me, Julius, there's a line between shit and not shit.
So basically, you just got 2 categories. Is that what you're
Pretty
saying?
much.
Okay.
Pretty much.
So,
Okay.
We're getting off tangent.
Give me a name. Give me a name and I'll just tell you.
I can't.
Any name and I'll tell you. bro.
Michael Carrick.
Workhorse.
Michael Carrick.
Michael Carrick. Not shit.
Ox.
Shit.
Anderson.
Shit.
Capping.
Go on. Keep
Anderson
what
was it.
Anderson?
The
Man
Brazilian
United
one.
one.
That's my guy.
You shit, bro.
I don't know,
Herrera.
guys.
And
We're
Herrera.
getting off tangent. We're
You
getting off
shit.
tangent.
And Herrera shit.
Herrera.
That's enough for me.
I won't say anything on that one
That's enough for me.
because he has been shit, but he's also been okay. But
And
So you need the middle ground one.
not really.
But you know what? Yeah, you said Fabinho wasn't a starter.
He wasn't starting, is what I
No,
mean.
but you said it. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll be honest with you right now. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I gave you the platform, and I was expecting a lot more from you,
Guys,
considering how much you've been suffering, and you've got what you got yesterday. Talk your shit.
I'm
B.
gonna be honest. That game for me, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything because at the end of the day,
Another day in the office, man.
no, not even that. Like United were
What year, bro?
United were exceptionally shit. I don't think we were amazing. And that's been the story of our season. We haven't been amazing, but we've managed to get thingy. The good things I'm taking from this is that I think it's our 5th clean sheet.
Can I just
It's our
pause
5th
you there?
clean sheet in the Premier League in a row.
That is good.
And we've been leaking goals this season. For me, Konate's come in and looked assured. People were saying the same Man United fan that I haven't mentioned was saying why is Bruno Fernandes starting on the left? Like put Marcus Rashford there, he'll be eating up Trent. Not today. Not today, bro. It was a different Trent we saw.
He played well.
but-
Did he
but-
play
He
good?
played very, very well.
He did play well, but that didn't happen. And I think obviously for all the the freaking plaudits we've been giving Eric Sevenhag, yeah, he obviously
Say his name right, please.
Well,
Say his name correctly.
yeah. So if Eric Sevenhag refusing to put Bruno in the 10, I think you didn't really get to see Rashford go at Trent. So I think it would have just been a little bit more of a spectacle.
I don't think it would have been, because you yourself have given the plaudits to Erik ten Hag, and all of a sudden, when he's making decisions that you've given him plaudits for, you're now taking it away. You can't praise him with the same...
Get it wrong.
Hang on. You can't praise him with the same stick and then beat him with that stick as well, bro.
First of all, pause. Secondly, yes, I bloody well can.
What are we pausing? Praising and beating with a stick?
Well, I don't beat anybody.
Anyway, so what I'm saying is that if in all his wisdom and the teams you've managed, for him to say, I'm going to put Bruno there for a reason...
What's that reason then?
So where did Bruno play? On the right?
Played on the left.
On the left.
He played on the left. Weghorst was in the 10, and you had Anthony, who's got the same amount of stats.
Can you put a muzzle on him?
No, but
just put a muzzle on him.
We're talking football here. We're talking football.
Host.
This guy, he didn't want to say too much.
Let the Man United players speak on our game.
It's going to
put a muzzle on him.
It's
bad enough.
But again, the thing about this game is that this isn't really an occasion for Liverpool. It's more of an occasion for the Man United guys, because like the Real Madrid game, nobody was really talking about Real Madrid after the game. They were talking about Liverpool conceding 5 in a row.
So you're saying the result was not because Liverpool played well?
We flowed, but there were so many times when Harvey Elliott gave the ball away. There was a bit when Fabinho took a moment to warm into the game. And again, the goals were kind of like papering over cracks. I still have the same concerns for Liverpool that I had before the game, leaving that game.
You would do, but I think what United done wrong in that game, in my opinion, was what other teams have done is they've allowed you to have the possession, and I think Liverpool struggled with that kind of transition, so to speak, have been left with the possession. Whereas United were arrogant enough to...
That's not true. That's not true.
I think that definitely
every time we've played...
I think where you guys are great is you're great on the press and you're great on the counter. And that's how you do it.
To that point,
I would say you couldn't be wronger in that.
In the first half, where United were actually playing well, what they were doing...
Hang on, let me just address what you said. So
what part am I wrong about?
So Liverpool, we have been so poor in the press this season. Where we used to get the ball back within like 10 to 12 seconds, and now we have 2-3 minute spells without the ball at all.
But do you think that you just forget how to do that all of a sudden? You've been doing that consistently very well for about 4 to 5 years.
But if you listen to what I've been saying, like, we don't press anymore because the way that we have been playing this season, it's not in line with how we've been playing. So the reason why Trent has been getting caught out of position is because we don't recover the ball so quickly, and then we have 2 minutes without the ball, like the Brighton game, for example, where these guys are pulling us apart, dragging us from left to right, and we're not used to playing without the ball for that long. So then when Trent is finally caught in isolation, he's getting burnt. Or we're not turning the ball over. So against Man United, this is one of the first times where we have been pressing and where we've been getting the ball back and then keeping possession. We haven't kept possession like that.
Exactly, and that's what I'm trying to say. Is I feel like that was a combination between obviously Erik ten Hag getting the tactics wrong and obviously United being too arrogant.
But your point is that.
That you guys approached the game wrong. You forgot that he was going to Anfield.
Because in the first half, Man United played very well. And what Ten was doing,
the first 50 minutes,
what Ten was doing, which actually seemed to work, was that if you saw De Gea when he was on the ball taking his goal kicks, he was slowing down the game. So it was giving us an opportunity to rest and deal with the Liverpool press.
Yeah,
that was happening in the first half. The first half went well. It went very, very well. Obviously,
you was 1-0 down at the first half.
Muzzle on him, please.
Yeah, try let them speak.
Yeah, the first half went...
Sorry, hang on. Mute the mic.
Oh yeah, I forgot we got that opportunity. Yeah,
I don't know why I ain't heard Dre's yet.
Their time will come.
Yeah. So yeah, we played well in the first half. Obviously, it was a mistake that where Fred stepped in and then Gakpo was in.
No,
so
that was a good ball by Robertson as well.
It was a very good ball, but at the same time, there was a glaring mistake.
He shouldn't have stepped in, but also I'm sorry, but again, the way Thingy chopped Varane, I would be angry if that happened to VVD or Konate as well.
No, it was a simple goal. United should have done better.
It was too easy for me.
It wasn't good enough. 100%.
I disagree with that.
He took him out with one touch.
It was a good touch.
It was soft.
It was a good touch.
But you should anticipate that good touch.
Champions League Varane, World Cup Varane.
Like I'm saying, if that was VVD or if that was Gabriel or Saliba, they'll be asking is Saliba peak.
Should have been a lot tighter.
Nah, knock it off, man.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. I'm being seriously because that was an easy goal to score.
The finish made it look easy, but I don't think that was an easy goal to score. The shot was very, very nice. Very nice.
Bro.
Watch the goal again. There was a glaring mistake in that, but I can't blame Varane for...
What was the glaring mistake?
Fred stepping in and creating a space to be played.
But I don't think that's a glaring mistake because
it was.
There was a massive gap.
Wait, but hang on, he's not a left back.
It doesn't matter. You're a footballer.
Right back. Was it Delo?
Yeah, so he's not a right back. So shouldn't the right back be splitting the gap though?
No, but
I personally gave more of the kudos to Gakpo rather than making a mistake again.
It was a goal.
Robertson wouldn't have played that ball if there wasn't that massive gap.
Yeah,
but why was that massive?
Because Fred
Fred stepped in because Dallo.
Where does Fred play?
But there was spaces in that field.
He's a DM.
And where does Dallo play?
Right.
Remember.
So why was Dallo right next to Varane?
You cover your players, don't you?
No, but I'm saying why was Dallo right next to Varane?
Was he?
No, he wasn't.
Wait, what happened then? Sorry, excuse me. I don't know. Where was Dallo when this all happened then? Please?
Wasn't it Preston Robinson? Who was Preston Robinson?
I thought it was Dallo.
we do too much to try and make it a mistake thing, man. Sometimes you just need to give guys credit.
That was a good goal. There was mistakes in the game.
Because sure, like moments before, played a dope ball into to Rashford, sorry, and
no, I'm not disputing.
You get what I'm saying? So,
I'm giving credit, but I'm also saying it was poor defending. It both can be true.
No, again, what Sam's saying, 100% right. My question is, if that goal happened to Gabriel or Saliba, would you be disappointed in their defending?
Yeah, and I know what you're saying. Obviously, everybody would be villainizing, if that's a word, to vilifying. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. Vilifying Gabi and Saliba, but that happens when you're top of the league. But respectfully, we're talking about Manchester United.
God damn. It's not every time you have to shoot, bro. Sometimes we can analyze.
Continue.
Go on, MJ.
Yeah. Finish.
I wish we had visuals today. You need to see Marley Mark's face.
So let me ask you a question. Yeah, so same question I asked Jules. Going into the game, what did you think you'll come out with?
Take us on your emotional roller coaster.
This might sound like incredible cap, but I thought we'd win, but in the same breath, I didn't. Well, my little brother supports Liverpool in it, so he came to me before the game and said, what do you want? What do you want from this game? And I was like, if we lose, I'm not going to be distraught. But the manner in which we lost, that's a different story. I wasn't anticipating a 7-0. I thought we'd win, as I said, but the overall result, it was a madness. 7-0 is just hard to look past for me.
What do you think went wrong? You already said first half was okay. I think. So what changed in the second half?
In the second half, I think there was incredibly naive. I think to get 7-0 is a madness. If you're going to get, for me, at 3-0, the game was over. Like, so take off Rashford, take off Bruno Fernandes, because we've got a big game on Thursday as well. I would have thought that would have made sense, but the naivety was like old school Arsenal when you're getting pammed and you're still going after the game and you're getting sacked for more goals. That's exactly what happened.
You don't think 3-0 was rescuable at half time?
Anfield.
Do you know what?
Anfield,
I don't.
Maybe not even a draw.
At 2-0, they needed to do damage limitation. And by the way, I registered that little shot there, mate.
What was that? So at 3-0, given the amount of games we've played, at the intensity we've played,
okay, fair.
Considering Thursday as well, I think going after the game at 3-0, I think that's a little bit. You don't do that. We had a chance, obviously, make it 3-1 with Bruno when he shut down the keeper and he tried to flick it to Rashford and tried to claim a penalty. So at 3-1, I think the game changes then. But yeah, when it's 4-0, it's just like come on, guys, let's stop the rotting.
But Marley, he took off Fred at 3-0. Was he still going for the game? Or was that frustration? Like, was that tactical? Was that frustration?
I think he went defensive.
Because that's why I'm asking, because is he going for the game if he's subbing Fred for Scott McTominay?
I think it's a like for like at that point for me.
But Fred's been one of the standout performances,
and maybe he was considering Thursday for Fred. Maybe he thought Rashford could stay on the pitch for 90 minutes and do what he's doing and be comfortable on Thursday. And Fred is more important because Fred runs around the pitch, so you might need his energy for a Thursday game as opposed to Rashford staying on the pitch. I don't know. I can't make sense of it for me. I think, as I said, at 3-0, bring on all the Elangas. Even maybe not Sancho, because you don't want Sancho's to go into depression again after 7-0. No, real talk, no?
Nah, that's kind of cold, bro.
No, it has that effect on people.
But real talk, bro.
Yeah, I can see. I'm looking at Dre and Marley Marl's
Look, same thing happened to Ronaldo when we was getting popped by Man City, And
6-1. 6-3.
6-3, was it 6-3?
No, the 6-3 was this season.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, 6-3. When we was getting popped and Ronaldo was on the bench.
No, but Ronaldo wanted to play in that game.
But to do what?
But
Forget Ronaldo. Question, Dre, because last week I listened to the episode. I was like, Dre's talking a lot. It's good. And you've been awfully quiet today.
Yeah, he hasn't said a word yet.
No, I haven't.
apart from hello.
I've
He
been
clapped.
patiently waiting for my go. Like some other people, they don't
I
wait.
respect that. Question I wanted to ask. So, is this a blip? Is it a cause for concern? Only the reason I'm asking because I know you've been winning some games. Newcastle game, you won it, but you scored against the one I played, then you scored another goal.
Yeah.
West Ham, you came out from 1-0 down and went out to win. Some of these victories that you've had, it's been the scoreline tells a different story to the actual performance.
100%.
So seeing what actually happened at the weekend, where you completely, obviously 7-0, 7-0, like were you completely surprised or you like?
I was surprised in the way that we completely
Capitulated.
Exactly. And it's sad to see, obviously, when you see players like Shaw and stuff like this, like not even like clearing the ball up properly. It's like half-hearted kind of clearances that are going back to Liverpool. It was just heads are dropped at 3-0. Anfield was popping, fans were popping.
Raucous.
And yeah, I think the United were rattled. And obviously, like you said, from when we even played Newcastle, after the first half of that game, we were not good. We sat back and we literally was like telling Newcastle to basically come onto us. Again, when we played West Ham, same thing kind of happened, but we had to go and get the goals. So it was like Garnacho kind of like getting us out of the mess, kind of last minute. But again, West Ham had their chances to take us out of that cup. But if we listen back to actually some of the other pod episodes that I've been on, I've said that at one point, it's going to come to a halt, and that I think is because we are basically playing almost the same team in every game that I can remember, bar like injuries, and it's taken its toll.
So what do you think this now does for the rest of the season?
It
Because
gives them the reality
you still
check.
need to play the same amount of games going forward.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
So do you think confidence goes is like, let's start again?
If we look at the form of United in the
great.
last 12 games of the Premier League, that's their second loss in the last 12 games. I think that's the same as Arsenal, 2 losses in the last 12 games, and I think that's the same as Man City, 2 losses in the last 12 games. So
it's a blip.
yeah,
It's a
in my
blip.
mind,
It's a blip.
7-0 is not acceptable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Ten Hag looking at it, he's just gonna go, shit, man. This is where I need to have like a good squad, because playing the same 11 every like 3-4 days, it's just not gonna work.
I think a blip is a 1-0 loss to a struggling.
Yeah, but
I'm not-
a blip is losing, not getting 3 points.
I don't think there's
You
much
don't
to
get-
take from this game, if I'm going to be honest, in terms of Man United.
it's a blip.
Like, obviously, it's the worst kind of performance you can have.
Yeah, it was a bad performance.
It's the worst.
But hang on, let me
It was
finish.
a bad 45 minutes.
Yeah,
in
and
fact.
It's the worst Premier League result in the history of the Prem, with the context considered.
Okay.
You do not have a derby game like that and get pumped 7-0.
That's what I would say. It was a-
They passed the
It
pad
happens.
on you.
It happens.
Bro, imagine,
It
yeah.
happens.
Derby game or not, the fact
happens.
is, like Dre said, it's been 12 games, and I think Man United at the start of the season, they'll snatch your hand off for that. I'm sorry, like
So, no,
where
it's
they
not
were,
good enough.
they'll snatch their hand off.
It's not good enough.
It's not good enough for you.
No, it's not good enough for anyone.
Liverpool are
It's not good enough for you, bro.
Liverpool haven't played like that all season.
We haven't.
Let's be honest.
That's true.
Man United have played like that all season.
Hold on. Muzzle.
No, but I'm saying factual stuff.
You're not.
They concede. What do you mean? They
Can you
conceded
muzzle him,
4 to
please?
they conceded 4 to Brentford, 6 to City,
Yeah.
3 to Arsenal, 7 to you guys. This is a consistent theme here.
But they're
you
third
guys
in
are
the
getting
league, bro.
pumped.
They're third in the league.
But-
Same way you're
exactly.
first in the league.
We're
It doesn't
third in the
really
league.
matter. Like, they've won the League Cup,
Bro,
and
we ain't
again, you talk about stuff at the start of the season where you guys were at the start of the season, where they were at the start of the season, and if you offer them some of the terms, they'll probably snatch your hand off for it. So if you look at it holistically, for me, this is a blip. And it's uncharacteristic of a lot of the players.
Oh, no,
Apart from Bernardo.
They would push back because I think the Man United crumbling under pressure in that fashion has happened quite a few times this season. You know,
Thank you, some honesty.
We've got Brentford. We had Brentford. We had Man City, Liverpool. I feel like I'm missing something. No, it wasn't Arsenal. Yeah, right.
Arsenal beat you 3-0, 3-1.
You beat us 3-2.
3-2.
And you scored in the 92nd minute.
Yeah.
Arsenal, relax, please. Arsenal's
know what,
Just stick on to what you were saying about it's not uncharacteristic.
What
I
would
like
say,
where he was going with there.
Yeah, so United have actually crumbled under pressure a few times, and United crumbling. It's not just like all right, we're almost there. When we crumble. Like we emphasis on the crumble. Like,
Sorry, do you think the record, Dre was saying your record matches Man City's and United's, do you think that is kind of papering over cracks and there's some deep cracks underneath there, or do you think that this is kind of like a superficial crack?
I think this is a superficial crack. I think for Man United right now, I feel like I've got two follow up questions. There's issues that can identifiable, and they will be corrected once we have a couple of windows. For me, that's why I see it. I see a lot of old United creeping into some of my performances, and let's be honest, Ten hasn't had a whole season yet.
Okay,
and the leaps and bounds Man United have made it's very positive. But at the same breath, we're still having to rely on the players like Fred and respectfully. Delo.
But why did you say Fred like that? Because he's shit.
Hold on.
Let's not go back to last week.
Wait.
I had two follow-up questions.
Fair enough, but before you do, because you used to say this when we was recording pilots, don't just use the English language frivolously, bro. What do you mean by superficial cracks? And then you say, yes, it is. You know what superficial means, bro? Superficial means that it's just literally you're scratching the surface, bro.
Yeah.
And he said, superficial cracks when said 3 or more players or something like that. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but Dan,
it's not equating.
I think what he's trying to say is at the beginning of the season, no one expected Man United to do what they're doing now anyway.
What are you doing?
No, they're outperforming their expectations.
Yeah, exactly.
No, let's not say what they're doing, because last week you sort of conceded that they're in the title race. So
we were though, because we were getting the results.
You were.
No, but the thing is,
you can't just be out of it.
No, I'm not saying I'm out. We're out of it, but I'm saying we're not at the end of the season. Do you know what I mean?
All right. So my follow-up questions to that was through this season or through these episodes we've been recording, you've been going kind of hammer and tong at Striver for Casemiro versus Partey. What does this game 7-0 do for you in Casemiro v Partey?
Casemiro is still better.
No, but because I saw the character lacking that I saw was a bit worrying for me.
What, the characteristics from Casemiro?
Yeah.
Can you ask Dre if Casemiro still has legs or not?
The thing is with Casemiro, he looked like he got injured pretty early in the game.
Okay,
he looked like he got injured. I'm not going to say he did. And through the 90 minutes, he didn't look like Casemiro. He wasn't covering a lot of ground. Not that he covers like a substantial amount of ground anyway, but he didn't look like he was moving as freely as he possibly could. Again, that's an excuse. But for me, Casemiro is respectfully Partey's levels, but Casemiro is better.
So let me just add into that. So
he's former accolades, right?
Casemiro, he missed the Arsenal game, and he missed another big game, right?
Man City.
So this, correct me if I'm wrong, this isn't his first big game in the Prem against a big 6 team, or is it?
No, it's not.
It's not.
He played against Newcastle. He played well.
Come on, this is what we're doing. You know who I mean by the big 6.
Hey, this guy.
said Newcastle.
Show this guy the door. Show this guy the door.
He played against Man City. He played well. He got an assist in that game.
He did not play well in that game, and you know he didn't play well in that game. You know he never played well in that game.
You asked me a question. I'm telling you.
I don't know whether he scored or assist. I said, did he play well?
He stunk.
So he played well against Man City.
Yeah, he did.
He stunk.
Dre, did he play well against Man City?
He stunk.
Dre said no.
No.
So
The game he won.
Yeah, you won it, but he
I
stunk.
don't think he
then against Liverpool, he didn't play well. So I know Casemiro's world class. I know he's practically won every single thing you can win as a footballer. But as Jules said, when it comes to a test, he's not passing it, because the times when you're no. I'm not talking about Real Madrid. I know Casemiro is a great player. I'm not trying to say all these times you've waxed lyrical is because he's played against Nottingham Forest. He's played against Wolves.
That's true.
But I just asked you the question, when he's coming against those top 4 teams, how did he play? You told me he played well against Newcastle. You told me he got an assist against Man City, but I don't care about an assist. It's
he played okay.
Performance-wise.
Hey, listen to his octaves. Hey, listeners, listen to his octaves.
He played okay, isn't he?
He played okay.
Yeah. He played okay. I don't know what you... And what you got to do, you got to muzzle this guy, right? Because when Arsenal talking... Nah, fuck, they wanted this.
And then, sorry, the other player was Casemiro and... Martinez.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry. Let me just say, obviously, you've all heard the stories and seen the pictures and seen the videos.
He was in another dimension.
In
Apparently.
another dimension, Harlem Shake.
Man said apparently as if you didn't get it.
The thing is, I like Martinez.
It hurt me. I laughed at that photo.
Whoa. You haven't even let me ask my question.
Go on.
I'm just saying, we've seen all of that stuff. We've seen him twerking on the handstand. We've seen him doing X, Y, and Z. There was a point where people were saying that he's going to be the best signing of the season. Is he still that for you potentially?
One game doesn't change that, though, to be honest.
Yeah.
It doesn't. But
I never had him as mine, but I'm saying one game doesn't.
Who said
if
that,
you
by
saw
the
the videos and you saw the pictures, for me, that's like me saying, Jay-Z's the hardest. And
What's your question?
sus stuff.
What's your question? Land your question, please.
Is he
Is he good or not?
potentially still signing of the season?
Yeah. 100%.
Okay.
It's like you said, Joey, though. It's like,
Hey, don't
it's like
attack
one
me.
game.
You've answered.
No, I'm just saying. It's like you said,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
one
yeah.
game. So are we basically now going to pinpoint someone's performance in one game out of the whole 38 games that we have in the Prem?
He asked me a question. Can I quantify my
I
answer?
thought he asked a question.
And I asked Jeezy still.
Yeah, so as Dre said, it's not one game, by the way. He's had a couple of bad performances.
Yes.
But as a defender, you play centre back, and you know, like when you're committed, when you're actually going in for challenges and not shying away from shit, you can get ripped. You can get ripped, and for
No,
me,
but I never used to do that. That's why I never used to get ripped.
All right.
Anytime he comes out wide,
I never used to get ripped, bro.
We played together.
You might rip me for
Let's
pace.
stay on track.
Sorry.
This guy's insulting my character, bro.
Let's stay
You might
on
rip me for
track.
pace, but you're never gonna do me like that with skill, bro.
On that point, Martinez had to commit where Shaw made a mistake, because Shaw made a mistake in a halfway line.
Shaw was lazy. He didn't even back him.
He didn't back him, like, so he gave the ball away, yeah, and then Shaw, instead of chasing the man that you've lost it to, he's actually run and gone into centre back.
And then
so
he didn't cover Hakpo as well.
What Martinez had to do is had to move from centre back and then go to left back. And at the speed he went, he got cooked because I think he was running. It's like he was trying to keep up his pace with Salah, and he got cooked.
No, he wasn't. Remember, because he was like looking the other direction, bro.
Yeah, because he tried to anticipate what was going at speed.
What Virgil always says when you're defending those kind of things is don't look at the player's eyes. Sorry, don't look at the ball or the feet. Look at the eyes. So Martinez, if you're listening, that's my advice to you, bro.
Yo, this is
Anyway,
cute, man. But look,
Martinez, yeah. To your question, yeah, I do think he's
Okay,
one of
fair.
the-
Signing
I
this season.
think Casemiro's a signing this season, but
remember when
Martinez as well.
Remember when I asked you last week, yeah, about the signings, right? And I was trying to lead you down the road to say Casemiro was your signing of the season, but you refused to take that, and you said that Bruno Fernandes was your signing of the whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what you were talking about. I'm surprised that this guy's name hasn't been brought up. We're talking about Martinez. I actually like Martinez. Obviously, he got ripped a couple of times, but anytime he does come out wide, he's not really good with dealing with wingers that run at you. That's what I've seen this season. But Bruno Fernandes, your signing of the last 2 or 3 seasons, whatever, this guy does not turn up ever when he needs to turn up.
What is
Europa
ever?
final. No, I'm saying ever
No,
because
you can't say ever.
Well, I'm gonna say-
Host. I think
Yeah, I think you're doing
can
a
you
gender.
wrap it up?
Land your point.
Is there a point though? Is it gender?
hold on. First of all, you're talking in the 8 octaves.
Yeah,
up
it doesn't
again.
matter how I'm talking, all right? This is how I have to speak to get over it. That was pause. That was a pause. I was going to say a madness.
Guys, land your point, then we'll move on.
He went missing in the Europa League final. This is a massive game at Anfield. This is your club captain. Where's Maguire? Yeah, if you get a real captain on the pitch, because this captain, this potential captain or whoever this guy is posing as a captain, was on the pitch. He didn't track back when he got beaten, I think by Bacetic, right? This guy was waving his arms at Eric Sevenhag, trying to get subbed off.
Can wrap it up.
Yeah. No, because I'm saying something that happened in this game that we haven't addressed yet. This guy was the worst captain ever. Manchester United do not stand for that. And the reason why I hate Manchester United so much and why I've got so much rage in my heart for Manchester United is because what I've grown up seeing, they've got steel, their players, they fight for their club, they fight for that badge. I'm used to seeing Roy Keane's. I'm not used to seeing guys crying on the pitch, freaking tilting their head, asking to come off the pitch. Bruno Fernandes was a fucking disgrace. He was a disgrace.
He didn't ask to come off the pitch, by the way.
What did he do?
He was being Bruno Fernandes and waving his arms around. That's what he does. When he's frustrated, and you've played with players like that, when they get frustrated, they wave their hands around. This is how they're animated, and it's the European passion, fellas. That's what it is. The European
I'm going to need you to land your point because...
You might as well move on because there is no point.
What do you mean there is no point? No, there's no way I'm moving on. You know why I'm not moving on? Because
host, wrap it.
You know why I'm not going to move on this? Because this is a massive talking point. That's your captain.
But it's a massive talking about, but we haven't got enough time for it, so we have to.
Yeah, bruv, this is the biggest game of the. This is the biggest game of the weekend, bruv. They've just lost 7 bloody nil.
Should we have a whole episode on Man United?
Bro,
Guys, this is why episodes last hour and 40 minutes. Let's
whilst you're on the mic, let's just go for Arsenal.
Before I go on to Arsenal, I'm just going to say, though, I haven't seen a captain ask to come off other than Sunday League.
He didn't ask to come off.
I've not seen a captain ask to come off the pitch.
He didn't ask to come off. It's been released by Man United today.
I thought I was back at Belmont Athletic
today that he didn't ask to come off. All right.
Of course.
Let's move on.
Damage limitation.
Let's move on.
Damage limitation. Freaking dead-ass team, bruv. I thought he was in the title race. Let's move on from United.
I'm going to edit this part out.
He makes me sick. Like, he was going to move on to Arsenal. So he was going to move on to Arsenal. So,
bro, why are you so angry?
I'm not angry. I'm happy. I'm happy that
you look like you're going to punch Arsenal in the face when you see them, bro.
Bro, how can I be angry, bro? Because 2 weeks ago, I was told, man, I led these guys exactly where I wanted them. They said they were in the title.
Let's move on. We spent way too much on United.
We're talking about Arsenal.
No, you're talking about United.
Yeah, but I'm saying, bro, I'm talking about Arsenal.
All right, let's talk about Arsenal versus Bournemouth.
I'm talking about Arsenal. But they said they was in the title race. They're not in the title race no more. So now we're going into Arsenal. Yeah,
okay.
We're going into into Arsenal. I mean, you know what you guys can't do? And I think we should just realise this now. You can't monitor and police my speech because I'm going to say what I need to say. So just let me say it and then we move on. So now we're going on to Arsenal. We were now playing Bournemouth.
I didn't even ask no questions, bro.
Jeez.
Bro, you got to let the host host.
No, go and talk. Talk your talk. Yeah. Host and pundit, go on.
So we're going on to Arsenal. So we're playing Bournemouth now. Obviously, we've just seen that Newcastle have failed to take points of Manchester City. So it's a big game for Arsenal because you need to basically prove that you can handle the pressure that's on in being in an actual title race. And we have to play Bournemouth. Now, it's assumed that that's going to be an easy game. But actually, in my opinion, even though Bournemouth got slapped by City, you saw like good spells from Bournemouth. You actually saw that Bournemouth, in phases of play, that they made the game competitive. So
where are they in the league?
They were second from bottom at the time.
All right.
Yeah, second from bottom at the time. But as you've seen, Arsenal lost to bottom of the league, Everton.
Can I ask Dre what your point was, please?
No, he never has a point, but this is what I mean. But we can do that because we are now like 12. We've got like, I think, 12 games left of the season. Right now, every time you play bottom of the league or anybody like towards that, these games are going to be like cup final games.
Yeah,
so actually, these are harder games. But obviously, Drayman doesn't know what he's talking about ever. Like, just run the other episodes back. So he's going to say stuff like that. So obviously, Bournemouth have now gone 2-0.
You said it was going to be a hard game, bro. They're bottom of the league.
Of course, it's going to be a hard game.
And you're at home. And you're top of the league.
Of course, it's going to be a hard game.
Come on, bro.
So let me just remind you of some of the things you said, Dre. there was a time you played, was it Reading? In the FA Cup, I think. And I think you played your strongest team. And Reading are almost in the relegation zone in the Championship. You said you can only beat who you're playing against. After winning the Carabao Cup, you said
after the most pathetic run
you
to the
beat
final.
Burnley, you beat Charlton.
I thought he had a list. I thought he was reading from a list.
No, you Burnley, Charlton, Nottingham Forest. Again, you can only beat the teams that you're playing against, right?
But I didn't say they were going to be hard games, bro. This was my point. I just wanted to clarify.
Had a hard game against Leeds.
They're top of the league. They're playing Bournemouth, who are bottom down there. And then he's saying it's going to be a hard game when they're playing at home and they're top of the league and they're flying.
But Drayman, let me just give you some just brief education because a couple of weeks ago when you guys scraped results against Leeds, I told you that this collapse was coming from Manchester United, and that's because you cannot put no disrespect on any football team in the Premier League. This Premier League, people say it's the best league in the world for a reason. Do you understand? So now when you've got you're coming towards the last 10 games of the season, every game against oppositions are going to be tough games, my bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that for free.
But I'm just saying in context because Arsenal are like top of the league.
But
so in my mind, for you to say...
Do you know what context means? Because I'm giving you the context.
Okay.
This isn't playing bottom of the league with 19 games played. We've got 12 games left. They're fighting for survival at the moment. So they're going to be tough games. Even the way Bournemouth... so I'm going to go back to the game. The way Bournemouth even started the game, it was actually tactical genius. They overloaded the left side, underloaded the right side. and so you're just expecting them to go like, we've all kicked off the game. If you see that they're overloaded in the left side, you're thinking, okay, they're going to go along that side. But they literally tricked us. They went down the right.
That was That's not genius, though,
bro. How many times have you seen that happen in the Prem?
No, but that happens in Sunday League, bro. Like that's not genius tactics. That was poor defending from because it should have got cleared away, innit? And then if it got cleared away, you lot would have been through on goal.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna agree. I'm not gonna say poor defending, but I think Gabriel could have done better there. Obviously,
it wasn't tactical genius. Though.
No, of course it was. But well, you know what? I think it was.
That's like we're gonna send everybody out. We're gonna play with 9 strikers. That's not tactical genius.
That weren't it's fortune. It's fortune if it's happened by chance. I feel like they worked on that training.
But I think it would
exactly.
have.
So you can't call it fortunate.
What would you say defensively?
I think every manager's thought about doing that at some point, but then they said not to because it's not good tactics.
And they decided to do that, and they've got a goal from it. So I personally think it's genius.
Okay, fair enough.
They scored the third fastest goal in Premier League history.
Second fastest.
Second?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it was third. Well, 9.7 seconds, whatever. So if that's second or third,
9:11.
Cool. Second or third, whatever. Who cares? But they scored the fastest goal, and we're on the ropes now. Yeah, we're on the ropes now, and then we go 2-0 down. Now at that point, our captain's clapping to the fans, clapping like a real captain should do. He wasn't asking to come off and what have you not. He galvanised his team. And then we've come back in now. Arteta's made some key changes. However, I should just rewind a little bit. I wasn't sure about his selection at the beginning. Like, I'm not sure why he dropped...
Tomiyasu.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he brought Tomiyasu on for that game. And this is not an indictment on Tomiyasu. I'm just not sure why he did that. Obviously, Nketiah, I've heard he had an ankle injury, so obviously he wasn't even in the squad. But not unfortunate for Trossard to pick up an injury, but it was great to see Emil Smith-Rowe come on as well, get way more minutes than we thought he was gonna get. But he did well. Obviously, he got an assist in the game as well. He did well. But yeah, so obviously we've gone 2-0 down now, and then at this point now, I'm maybe thinking if we get a point, cool. Let's see how the rest of the league goes. But Arsenal being mentality monsters, I've seen that phrase thrown around quite a bit. We've equalised, and then Reece Nelson's come on. He's actually been subbed on as ESR's been subbed off. He's come on. Partey, obviously, I think we mentioned him earlier on. Sorry, I can't skip him. He's been mentioning. He scored. He was absolutely integral in our performance as well. Obviously, we've seen that Jorginho's been quite dope for Arsenal, but to see Partey come in and come on, you could see what Partey brings and delivers to the team and whatnot. It was actually quite refreshing to have him in the team, and to see him get a goal as well was nice as well. That was a nice touch. Yeah, so anyway, so obviously 2-0 down to come back and win it 3-2. I think that was a really big result for Arsenal. I think having those kind of death matches, it can be a bit concerning because nobody wants to be conceding like that. No one wants to be conceding like that. But at the same time, I think what it leans towards for me as an Arsenal fan is it just shows that we've got that never say die attitude. It just shows that literally we can score at any moment of the game, because for us to score at literally the last second, Reece Nelson, Hayland Academy has literally propped Arsenal up this season, and to kind of see this guy come in and save us as well, and just put up better stats than Anthony in just 3 appearances is dope, man. And yeah, top of the league, 5 points clear. This is exactly where we were before we went to the World Cup. This is where we are right now. Well, I wouldn't begrudge anyone that says Arsenal's winning the league.
So, come on, Joe.
Would you say you're like a glass half full or glass half empty person in general?
I'm a glass half full.
The way that Arsenal have been winning their recent games by going down and come back in the last minute, doesn't that worry you a bit?
Yeah, just like I mentioned, it can be deemed concerning because you are conceding quite a few goals. As in, if you look at the last few games, we've conceded some goals, but then at the same time, and you guys brought the violin out last week, I feel like some of those goals have been a bit suspect. I feel like we've been victim. I think there's an agenda against Arsenal. I think VAR, the referees don't want us to win or what have you not. And I think some of those goals probably shouldn't have counted, but they do. But yeah, we can do better in terms of what we're conceding. But in terms of clean sheets, Ramsdale is in the Golden Glove race. I think only Nick Pope, maybe De Gea might be ahead of him. I can't remember, but we might be third in there. So it's not terrible. We do need to tighten that up. I think the boys are aware of that.
It's a positive. It's definitely a positive, because previously what would happen was Arsenal would go down and they won't come back. So for an outsider looking in, that's probably the most concerning thing. As obviously I don't want to see them win, but for the fact that they're going down in games and coming back, that is showing a mental strength, a mental toughness that has been not present in an Arsenal team for a while, I would say. And now that they're turning that around and getting wins out of it, yes.
But doesn't that only last until it lasts?
Yeah. Go on.
No, I wouldn't say so, because Arsenal are probably they're on up right now. So where they're at now, a season from now, they probably will be in a better position as far as I'm concerned. So it's good that they're doing it now. Maybe in a season or two, they won't be doing it at all. Maybe they're just going to steamroll teams like Man City do. Okay. I don't know. Hopefully not, but yeah, we'll see.
That's basically what Arsenal need to work on now. Like when you saw how Arsenal played against Everton when they got the 2 early goals, you saw Everton just deflated and they gave up.
Yeah.
So that's what Arsenal need to work on, try and kill off teams. But as I think I've mentioned in the past, we don't have that one like talisman that just scores all our goals. We get our goals all around the team. So where we're such like a progressive team playing, it might be difficult to see us kill off teams until we get that player that is a little bit more clinical.
Benny Plasker.
I liked Trossard because I feel like, contrary to a lot of Arsenal fans, I feel like he's probably a bit more clinical than both Nketiah and Jesus, although that we're all like, we can't wait for Jesus to come back. I personally can't forget that Jesus literally was on a goal drought for like 10 games. So as much as he's going to help us play and help us tick, we've actually seen that we play and we tick well without him anyway. Do you get what I mean? So really what I'm looking for is someone that's going to come in and just get us goals as well. So for me, it was a little bit of a dent to our title hopes to see Trossard come off. And I do hope that if he is injured, he's not injured for long.
Can I just say as well, Dre, you're stressing me out right now, because you have been talking crud for the longest time. The longest time.
What's he meant to say right now? The United segment is over.
I want him to say something, all right? I want him to say something because he's been talking.
I already did, man. This is bottom of the league game, man. Nonsense game.
This is someone that literally just got piped 7-0.
Any more questions?
No, yeah. What I was going to answer your question about what you asked, Jerry. For me, it's there's two sides of it. It's good that they're actually coming back and winning, but it's also a cause for concern, because I mentioned it when Spurs were doing it, coming back and winning. United were doing it. If you don't fix it soon, it's going to become an issue.
Yeah.
And right now for Arsenal, I think it's okay because maybe there's 12 games left. It's all that matters is getting over the line.
Yeah.
But I feel like they need to have more control over games, because you done it against Villa, you done it against Bournemouth, but if you now play a bigger team, you may not have the chance to come back.
No, Leicester was early goal.
Yeah.
That was early goal.
But yeah, question for you, Straz. Obviously, you've got the Europa on Thursday away to Sporting.
Finally got more games to play.
So for you, obviously, Nketiah's not available, Trossard's not available. What changes would you make, if anything at all?
Well, obviously, we saw ESR get some minutes. I think that was very encouraging. He played the under-21s. He had a nice little game out there as well, plus with our Jacob Kiwoya as well. Arsenal's squad isn't as depleted as you might have once thought.
What's about the forward line? Because there's no strikers.
Well, yeah, like you still got Martinelli, you got Saka. You can put ESR in a false 9. You know what I mean?
So what would you go with?
I'm probably
give me your front three and your midfield three.
I'm going with Saka, ESR, Martinelli. I'm going with Jorginho, Vieira, and Odegaard.
Wouldn't you put Martinelli at the spearhead rather than ESR?
Yeah, so I'll put ESR on the left in that, yeah. And then obviously we've got Reece Nelson that can come in and also get some minutes as well. So, and obviously we don't actually know what going for Trossard yet. Like,
he's not available for this week though.
Okay.
Has that been reported? Okay.
Yeah, it's too early.
I was speaking to an Arsenal. In fact, it was your brother. I saw your brother the other day.
His brother, to the listeners.
Oh, sorry, Strives' brother. You're saying, yeah, and he said that he doesn't care about Europa, and I was surprised at that because it's a European trophy that Arsenal don't have.
Yeah, see, yeah.
It's a good point. It's a good. I mean,
But don't put all your eggs into one basket.
What it is some Arsenal fans, and I'm surprised that my brother's included in this, is we get
correct.
We kind of get like we get a goal in sight, and then we get so besotted with this goal. Sometimes we lose sight of reality. And obviously we want to win that Premier League, and we're thinking nothing to jeopardise winning that Premier League. But we cannot forget that it has been a while. Even though we like, obviously we're old enough to have seen Arsenal do this in the past, but it's been a very long while that Arsenal has been strong in the last 10 games of the season and come on strong and end it strong, right? But we know that our direct rivals, Manchester City, they do this, yeah? Obviously, Man City, they've got their own problems to deal with at the moment. I'm sure we'll go on to them at the moment shortly. But I personally think where we're not that successful in Europe, I think personally the Europa Cup is something that we will want to win, and we need to win.
What would you choose?
I mean, as in, what would I choose between the two?
If you had to choose one.
If I had to choose one, I'm choosing the Prem.
So how many are you winning?
You've never
how many
won
are you winning?
a European title.
How many are you
before.
winning?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Like
How many you winning?
the Europa title isn't.
Then it,
Yeah, no, because you know what I mean. I can't even get the word out because I've been forced to play the Europa League. Like,
Okay.
you know what I mean. Like, if I'm choosing the Europa and the Prem, it's Prem every single time. However, I'm not of the mindset that we should be sacrificing the Europa, because I didn't even want us to sacrifice the FA Cup. If you remember,
yeah.
I think we need to try and get a cup, and we also need to qualify for Champions League. I personally think 75 points gives us that. But I understand that we're now probably looking for the Prem title.
Don't you think that winning the Europa scratches an itch that's been there since the dawn of Arsenal?
You win the Europa, it scratches that itch, and you're like, oh, that felt nice.
And then you get
No, it's
Champions
just- no,
League as
it's-
well.
it's
And
a
you
real-
get Champions League
No,
as
you
You're
well.
going to get anyway because they're going to cut it top four at least.
God willing.
They haven't got 75 points yet. So
Yeah,
I mean,
in my opinion, 75 points guarantees it. Yeah. But yeah, God willing. But if you win the Europa, oh, that felt nice. You know what I mean? Really and truly, a team like Arsenal, the team that Arteta's building, the players, the mentality that we see, they want to dominate English football.
is that based on how the season's going or
It's just based on
pre-season?
it's how the season's going for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Because
100%.
pre-season winning European title, like, do you know, I have no words.
Yeah, even if United were on top of the league,
Yeah, I have no
I want
words.
to win Europa. That's a European trophy. It's obviously not the Champions League, but it's still a
remember the question that was asked to me, and it wasn't, do you not want to win it? It was, what would you rather?
Oh, okay.
So if I would rather the Prem, but I remember I'm saying that we need to win that Europa. I've got sights in Europe. That's why I'm surprised that you met my brother and he's saying contrary to that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that's fair.
we need to win the Europa, in my opinion, and the Prem. I personally think our squad is decent enough with enough quality to manage those two cups. Yeah, if we had another cup in there, maybe I might understand why you might want to sacrifice one at this stage of the season.
Like United sacrificing the Premier League and losing 7-0 to Liverpool yesterday.
It was a worthy cause.
Yeah, it was a worthy cause.
Let's move on to Arsenal's rivals in the Prem.
I think we can kind of end it here, you know.
Yeah, should we end it? City versus, who did they play?
Newcastle.
Oh, Newcastle. Anyone watch the game?
Yeah, I saw the game.
So I think I caught highlights of the game. And Newcastle, similar to their performance against United, they actually played okay. They had a lot of chances, but they just couldn't convert any. And it wasn't just as if City played amazing. Like City, they were exposed. But Newcastle just can't seem to score goals right now.
I'm so
Callum
tired
Wilson.
of Callum Wilson. I'm so tired of seeing that guy, man.
But why is he starting over?
I don't know. Is that came on again? Impact change the game. So I personally think Wilson probably needs to hold the bench for a bit. Play Isaac through the middle. So it'll be St. Maximin, Isaac, and Almiron. Or
Almiron
Gordon.
as well stopped scoring. I think that's affected Newcastle quite a bit.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be though. That should be adding to the goals of Callum Wilson from last season. But since he's come back from injury, and he even went to the World Cup, remember, over Ivan Toney.
Mad.
It's been terrible. It's been terrible. Like that sitter that he missed, or the opportunity he missed, bro.
on his studs.
Bro, I turned off the TV. Turned it off, bro.
that was
I don't know
Trash,
what's
bro.
happening to Newcastle. Newcastle seem to really be like they're dropping off pretty badly at the moment, man.
Probably ran out of steam.
Yeah, they are, but they are.
Outperformed the
Yeah,
expectations, man.
Yeah, they're fifth right now. No one expected Newcastle.
They're fifth right now, and they're not completely out of it. They're still in the running for top 4. You know what I mean? And I think I had them in my predictions to be top 6, maybe top 8. I think so. I mean, yeah, Newcastle are outperforming, but obviously where they were and the performances they were putting up, they seem to be dropping off a little bit. I feel like, obviously, I felt it was a mistake. Well, I can't say a mistake. I thought it was a blunder to get knocked out so early from the FA Cup. But then they had the.
But they wanted to do that on purpose.
No, I don't think. they
No,
chose
but I
to,
think it was argued that somebody argued with me that they wanted to do that on purpose. But
No, nobody said that. It was said that I think they wouldn't be as concerned with being knocked out. Not that they said.
Oh, okay.
Let's
Yeah,
leave
maybe it was.
Let's leave the FA Cup today.
Yeah, maybe it was that. But I thought contrary, because now you've built up the cup final, which which Newcastle kind of blundered a little bit.
When you say they blundered, like what did they do wrong?
It was.
They didn't have their first choice goalkeeper.
But
they played well.
But Karius played very well.
No,
in my
and
opinion.
Newcastle played well until United sort of scored against a run of play. Then they conceded a fortunate goal. Like what else could they have done?
Like I think Maxi, he was getting a lot of the ball. He was running at players, but it felt like he was just busy for no reason.
Saint
I feel like
Maximin,
Howe doesn't like him.
I don't think he does either. Saint Maximin is doing what Saint Maximin's always been doing. Just that people's not been watching him. When everyone's like, "I'll take him at my club." No, you wouldn't. He's
You
just
did say,
inconsistent.
I remember you said that, and I think for me, because I was genuinely supporting Newcastle in that game. I was so frustrated with
Yeah,
him.
he's a
And then,
frustrating player.
I'll
He
be
came
honest
on at
with you.
City. He did the same at City as well.
So frustrating.
We had the same conversation at ball, but I feel like because Eddie Howe doesn't like him or he's not one of his players. I don't think he's taking him under his arm and coaching him, because that guy's got raw talent.
Yeah,
bro.
he does.
And I feel like he can be coached into a sick player, because there's players like Mane who were quite similar in terms of being a pest, getting a goal here and there and having prime dribbling abilities, but just not delivering output. But he's capable of output, because we can see that he's got the raw skills to do such things on the pitch. So I feel like you just need to put an arm around this guy's shoulder and then coach him into the play you need. Maybe let him hold bench for a bit, send them away to fucking Amsterdam, whatever they did with
held bench for a bit.
He's been holding the bench for a hot minute.
But that was after injury though.
Yeah.
And Newcastle were playing well at the time. Now that although those players are out and he's fully fit, he has to start. But I feel like you need to guide those players into the players you need them to be. And I don't think Eddie Howe maybe doesn't know how to do that, or doesn't have any interest in doing that.
I think with Saint Maximin, it was Newcastle were a one-man team. It's like, give the ball to Saint Maximin. You can do exactly what you want.
He's their
Now
star
Eddie
player.
Howe's creating like a team.
Yeah.
And he doesn't seem to fit in the team, because it's like...
But that's what I'm saying. So this guy is a cog, and his cog doesn't really have a place in the team. So you need to mash that cog into the team or get rid of him.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, if you're going to get rid of him, it might come back to haunt you, because again, like I said, this guy's clearly got talent.
Yeah, someone could find some use for him. But
Exactly.
But it's interesting, because obviously Gordon plays on the left, Saint Maximin plays on the left, and Gordon was signed. Who else is... He also plays Willock on the left as well.
Yes.
So there's a lot of players on that left side, and he's not playing...
Willock is like left centre, innit?
Yeah.
But Willock comes on as well, and obviously I always want him to do well, because he's come from Arsenal and whatnot. But I just never have the feeling that he's gonna change the game.
remember,
Like he used to change the games, but
Yeah, and I think that's because Newcastle have run out of steam. I think that's what it really boils down to, if anything. But sorry, back to, we haven't really spoken on Man City.
no, because
you wanna
I just wanted to say that with Man City, so you might agree with me, or you may was going to say something similar. I think with Man City, I think a lot of people are obviously putting Man City in this race and saying, it's Man City. Some people still think it's Man City's to lose, but KDB, I think, needs to go to trial. Like, I can't wait till we bring that segment back, because I would have nominated him to go to trial, to be on a watch list, whatever we end up calling it, crime watch, because this guy has been very underwhelming recently. And I think the way Bernardo Silva came on and made made such an impact. Obviously, it's easy to say because he scored, but you could actually see the impact he made when he came on. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he takes his place moving forward. And obviously, you've got Foden that's, you know, seems to have, you know, found a bit of form and stuff, and he seems to, you know.
But again, is that the same kind of thing we were talking about, like with Newcastle, with Maxi? Is he feeling the pressure? Like in terms of, because obviously we always...
KDB?
Yeah, because we expect him to always turn up, right? Always.
I don't know what's going on with KDB. I wouldn't say pressure just because he's
handled it in the past.
Yeah, he's handled it in the past. He's a seasoned
What did he do
professional.
wrong though in the game?
He lost possession like a multitude of times. I think it was like
He's been in it
17
for a while,
times.
though.
Yeah, but was it he attempting to go forward and losing possession? Because that's what he kind of does.
No, but he
much
doesn't.
like Bruno Fernandes. When you're taking risks and taking chances.
Yeah.
But we know about Bruno Fernandes is a bum now. So
No, Bruno
like,
Fernandes creates a lot of chances. If you check the statistics, he will show you that he's doing his thing.
Is that what KDB was doing, like going forward? Because
if we're going to compare him to Bruno Fernandes,
We're not, but
I
I'm
think
just
that's
saying
where I personally think that it leans to the point I'm trying to make that KDB's falling off, and he needs to find himself again. And I think he might need like when I think Pep is at fault as well, like tinkering with your team all the time. He can't do wonders for players' confidence. But personally, when I was just watching that game, I thought that City might have a bit of an issue there. And I think in the past, I've put KDB up against Odegaard, yeah, just like who's like Odegaard's coming for this guy's place as the number one playmaker in the league. And I think now that argument might have some legs because KDB just...
Yeah, this season it does. KDB hasn't been his best this season at all. And the mere fact that he's been holding bench a lot, people can say Pep is tinkering, but you don't take out your best player just for the sake of taking out your best player.
I mean, we never know
Pep's
with Pep.
capable.
Yeah, we just,
I've always thought he's capable of doing that.
If he would only do
For
it,
the
if he
greater
doesn't,
good.
exactly. If you feel like you're not performing, I'm not gonna. I know last week Miles said, regardless of how he's playing, you play your best player. You play KDB, you play Foden, but sometimes that could be the detriment of your team. Like if someone's historically your best player, but they're not performing right now, you can't play.
yeah.
I think that was shown when Arteta got rid of Orba.
Oh well, Ronaldo going, yeah. But
So yeah, man, I think City did well to still win the game 2-0.
I think they're just chugging along and doing business quietly, bro. And no fanfare around it. Or that it's kind of the opposite to Arsenal.
They've got no fans,
that's
innit?
why.
Yeah, exactly.
They got no, I'm saying like they're the opposite. You know how Arsenal are like.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, they've got a
doing
bit of grace.
spectacular wins and everything.
Oh, I thought you meant
Man City are just doing 1-0s and 2-0s and just quietly chugging along, innit?
that too. And then their fans ain't as loud as Arsenal fans as well. So they just.
But there's only like 5 of them in the world, bro.
That's the point.
let's quickly wrap up the rest of the top 6 games. So we've got Tottenham Wolves. Tottenham lost 1-0. I was building up an agenda saying they seem to only lose games when Conte is not managing, but they lost with I can't remember the manager's name. But did anyone watch the game?
Italian. Yeah, I watched some of the game. And Marlon's favourite player got the winner, Adama Traore. Yeah. No, you used to talk superlatives about him, bro.
Planet Fitness, man.
But Tottenham was just a bit rubbish, to be fair, man. Like they tried a couple things. Wolves were playing 3 at the back, and you have to tilt your hat to manager Laporte. Is it
Lapachegi or something like that.
Julian Lopetegui? You have to tilt your hat to him because he's made them look a lot more solid. It was good to see Jimenez throwing himself about, man. He played really well in that game. Obviously, he's been a bit on a downward trend since his head injury, but I think that's the first time I've seen him looking quite sharp.
He's not wearing the mask as well anymore, right?
I don't recall seeing it, to be fair. The headband.
Yeah, he was using that for a while, and for some reason I think that affected his game. For some reason,
Yeah, if it was affecting Son's game with the mask, then why wouldn't
true.
it?
Yeah, true.
But Sarabia as well was kind of controlling that game. Harry Kane tried, man. They hit the crossbar twice. I don't know what else you can really say. Like Tottenham could have won that game, man, but it's good for the neutrals, man. It's good for Liverpool fans. That's all I can say about the game, man.
So how many points are Liverpool behind Spurs now?
I think it's 3.
We're 3 points with a game in hand.
And they got a bit of goal difference, clearly.
So, sorry, just because you were talking about Newcastle being like potential top 6, but I think the team to watch out for is Brighton. Because they're still winning games, bro. And
I think they've only played like 23 games, isn't it? Or something like that. Maybe.
I think they've got one game in hand on us.
No, they got more than that. Yeah, they got. I think they're like 23.
Yeah. So they've got one game in hand on us, and I think they're same points.
Dope result from Brighton on the
2
weekend
games.
as well.
Is it?
Yeah. You got 25. They got 23.
In an ideal world, Brighton get Champions League. That's the ideal situation.
That'd be
Over
amazing.
who?
Over Liverpool.
And let's finish off with Chelsea Leeds. So Chelsea managed to get the 1-0 victory. Potter still got a job. Any thoughts on the performance? Any thoughts on Potter? Any thoughts on Chelsea?
Potter, I think it's come out that Potter's going to be backed by Todd Bowley. I think he should be. This game shouldn't really have an impact on the on whether he stays or not, to be fair. Chelsea weren't good. They got a result, and when you're at that part of the table, that's all that matters, if I'm going to be honest, man. You can get the results first and then talk about the performances later, man, once you start getting all the points on the board. Again, I said it prior to us pressing the record button, but I'm tired of seeing João Felix hit the crossbar. We're expecting you to do stuff, and you look so good on the ball, but your end product just isn't there, man. Like, Havertz is the worst person to have leading your line at this point, man, because this guy is just not taking up good attacking positions, and his finishing has been terrible. Chelsea need to shape up. They've got loads of players, man, but they're just not looking the part at all, man. They're lucky they were playing Leeds, because Leeds have just been terrible at the moment. But again, if they were playing like a Bournemouth, yeah, Dre like that. If they're playing a Bournemouth, it could have been a different result. So yeah.
No, I was just going to say about Sterling. I don't know what's going on with him either, man.
He's just come back from injury, to be fair.
Yeah, and he's just suffering from the same disease that the team is suffering from.
Yeah.
Like, they're shit at the moment, bro. And it's going to take a while for them to get good. But I think, personally, their pre-season and slimming down, like shredding, getting rid of some of the players will help that.
Yeah, they've got too many options, and for a manager, that's
more
not
problematic.
That's not great. I don't think Potter's going to be there in the summer. I'll be honest. I'll be surprised if he's there.
What do you think needs to happen for him to be there or not be there?
I think if they lose, if they get beaten in the Champions League this week, if they get knocked out,
They will be, or they're not going to go through.
What's it, 1-0?
1-0 Dortmund, yeah. So they can actually get knocked out. And Dortmund at home?
Dortmund are
Away, aren't they?
Yeah, they're away. Sorry,
Yeah, away.
Okay, all right.
It's at Stamford Bridge. Yeah.
Chelsea look
Dortmund
resolute
playing
in
well.
defence on the weekend, though. That's one strength they
Against
can.
What's
Leeds.
that?
I know it is against Leeds, but
But
when your confidence is that shaky, to kind of put up a kind of solid defensive performance, that can give you
it
something.
wasn't solid though.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think it was solid, man. If Leeds, again, like I said, if they were maybe Bournemouth, or if they, like Patrick Bamford wasn't on stupidness, they could have easily got into Chelsea's goal. Like, it's not like they were resolute at the back.
Defensively, I don't know how Chelsea were at the weekend, but going forward, I think they're going to be
Fofana.
Fofana.
When you say going forward, is it because of the players, right?
Not Porter, no, because if you get Fofana, I can't remember the left centre back's name.
Badishile.
Yeah, he's good.
He's a good player.
Benoit's good, yeah.
Reece James.
Yep.
He's always injured.
Chile was looking a bit suspect on
I'm
the
not
weekend
sure about
as well,
Chile,
bro.
but back four, I think
They've
for the future.
They've definitely got a good enough team to do real bits next season, but I just don't think Potter's the guy to do that.
Do you think Aubameyang should be playing a bit more for Chelsea?
Nah.
No,
Like,
do
do you think they
you
should
know
have
what?
been playing with an out and out
I
striker that
think-
scores
I would
goals?
say, yeah.
I think he should have had at least one game in this period.
He deserves to at least have 10, 15 minutes here or there.
Yeah.
Just because they're legit not scoring goals.
But
Like,
I'm
so
telling you,
surprising.
Aubameyang's washed though.
He is washed, but for
Honestly.
10, 15 minutes, I think he's washed as well because he genuinely doesn't look happy right now.
No, but
He
he was
must-
like that Arsenal. I'm telling you, this
He
guy
must
is
be
washed.
training with the 16-year-olds, bro. He has to be, because how can you be on a training ground and just doing nothing?
Yeah, it's
and then
strange.
not getting game time. So you must be on the training ground doing nothing while you're training with the kids.
Yeah, Chelsea might be in trouble this week. I just looked at Dortmund's win streak. They're 13 games, not unbeaten. They've won 13 games in a row in a row, all competitions. So for that game against Chelsea, that's probably the perfect opponent for them.
I don't think he'll get sacked if they get knocked out of the Champions League.
If they get knocked out and then they lose the next game, which is highly possible.
But then there's probably no point. It's like you're going to sack him now and bring someone in for like 10 games. Might as well sit out until pre-season.
Yeah, but if you sack him, like managers that are coming out of contract or might be leaving at the end of the season, then they start conversations with those guys early.
I mean, I think
they could be doing that now before sacking.
Yeah. I think if there's an opportunity to sign somebody,
that's unscrupulous. Wiley's in the job.
Yeah, you talk about
happens all the
people
time,
in the back. Let's say this might be happening, or you're available. Because if no one's available, there's no point sacking them.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Okay.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have the conversations, but like Della said, there's no point going through all of that turmoil for nothing. Like the likelihood, the best case scenario is that they finish 7th or 6th. Then Champions League's out of the question.
I would sack him if he loses the next 2 games. You sack him, bring in a caretaker while you're looking for another manager to come in.
What's the difference between him and a caretaker?
I think this
He's
win.
he's a permanent manager.
I think this win.
He's a permanent manager at the minute. So for a player that's currently playing and players that potentially come in, you're looking at it thinking, oh, that guy's still there. They don't know he's potentially gonna leave at the end of the summer.
But loads of players are leaving.
Yeah.
Loads of players are going to be leaving, so I think there's an opportunity for him. If you believe in what he got the job for, the reason why he got the job, I think there's opportunity for him to do a pre-season, to get the right players into the right frame of mind to kick off the next season. And I think they'll be looking forward to the next season at this point because there's not really much else to look to.
Yeah, I agree, but it's just whether or not they look forward to it with Potter or a new manager.
Fair.
And Chelsea's goal came from a set piece as well. That's another reason why I wondered why they're not going with an out-and-out striker. But
under Potter, the don't score goals.
No goals. Slap Brighton, where it used to be.
Was it 1 in 6?
Something like that.
Before this game, I think it was.
Shocking.
So it's like 2 and 7.
Cool. Let's wrap it there. But before we finish, let's do our usual back pages where we give a shout out to clubs, managers, players all over Europe that we think deserve to be on the back pages.
at least we know Dre's not going to prick someone from United this week.
Speaking of Dre, let's start with you, Dre. Who's your back page?
I'm going for Eric Ten Hag.
Eric Seven Hag, yeah?
Nah, I'm actually going to give it to Liverpool as a whole because they've taken a lot of flack this season, and the result.
What, including the board and the owners?
Let's just keep it up to managerial level. Maybe let's go up to like Klopp and then players down because of the result, the way they performed.
Man United related again.
No, it's not Man United related, bro.
It's not Liverpool. What's he meant to do?
Yeah,
This guy makes me sick. That's all.
but Liverpool. They're just this. I think this is going to probably make them excel up in the league. Who knows what will happen in the Champions League? I mean, Liverpool have had some mad results in the past, so yeah, I'll give it to Liverpool.
Cool. Strives.
De Zerbi, man, I think what he's doing at Brighton is a feat to behold. I really applaud their result over West Ham. I fear from Moyes. It was West Ham, innit? Yeah, I fear from Moyes. It was a great performance, and I like how Brighton are looking, and they really have a fair shout of getting top 4 this season. But I definitely see them making Europe.
How many points are they off United?
Someone had the Premier League table up a minute ago.
How many points United got?
I don't actually.
Man United have got 49.
Can I say something just now while you just segued onto United? I think United's going to drop out of the top 4.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, let's talk about this next week.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Back pages.
Back pages for me, toss up between Nunes and Hakpo. I'm going to go with Hakpo because the guy is, again, like I said, I don't need him to be scoring goals. But the way this guy, I don't know, his second goal, the way he received the pass from Henderson, it was a rough pass to control. He brought it down on his thigh, distributed it out to Salah. Salah sent Thingy into the shadow realms, Martinez into the shadow realms, and then he made that run, and it was a beautiful finish past De Gea. The guy, he's got that kind of like Dutch ball retention thing where he can dribble, hold the ball the same way like Wijnaldum used to have, where you couldn't get the ball off of him. The way he's been playing since we've been shit, he's just been picking up the ball, driving with it, holding on and progressing the club on the pitch. I loved it. And to see him get those excellent goals. Top level quality goals. Like
well
I said, it was poor defending, but Strives is saying this like a great touch and a great finish.
Yeah,
and the other one was the second finish was a deft touch, man. It was quality, man. So I'm just happy to see it clicking in for him, and long may it continue in Jesus' name.
Certain man got
I thought you would have given it. I thought you would have given it to Salah. Okay.
No, Salah's more the same.
We broke the record.
That's what we expect.
Speaking of breaking records, I'm going to give it to Mbappe, becoming the all-time PSG top goal scorer.
Well, he's got like 40 goals.
Huh?
40 goals.
What? No.
What's the record?
For PSG.
What's the
PSG, yeah, he beat
What's the
Cavani.
record?
I think it was 201.
201, yeah.
He scored that much goals already?
Yeah.
Right.
How old is he? 15?
No, exactly. So yeah, hold tight, Mbappe.
Cool.
Baller.
For me, I will give it to Reece Nelson. Come on, gets an assist and a goal, winning goal. So yeah, well done, Reece.
He's got better
He's a
stats
good
than
assist.
Anthony, you know.
Yeah, you said that already, bro.
No, I'm just letting you know again. And you know how much Anthony cost?
How much did he cost?
Same
much.
as Pepe.
Nah, I think it was
Well,
more, you know.
on that note, guys, thank you for listening. We'll see you next week.